I'm here, sir. What is this class? What is this biology class? I'm here, sir. All right, what's up? What's up, Kat? Good to see you, man. What's up, wrong person? Azzy? How's it going, everyone? Last day of school for this year, but not the last day of problems. Wake me up. You can wake me up when it's the last day of all the problems in the world. When's the last day? When is that? When September ends. Yeah. Any people older than 20 years old will probably get that reference. Depression hits hard. I already miss my dear friends. It's alright, man. Just a couple of months. What's up, Ollie? Good to see you, man. Birthday was yesterday. Hey, belated happy birthday, Azzy. No, this isn't class. This is the army. Oh, so that wasn't a I'm here, sir. It was more like, I'm here, sir. Also, I shouldn't be dilly-dallying when I only have 30 minutes to use up all the resin I have. I have 5 condensed resin and almost 200 resin. So, I got half an hour to get rid of all of that. I lost 50-50 in ZZZ to a dog and an HSR to a retarded blondie. Man, would be nice if I was actually playing those games. I would actually get those references. I mean, I would actually know who those characters are. We about to go to war. We. Who's we exactly? I thought you didn't need this domain anymore. Kind of. Kind of. On the first and second accounts, absolutely not. Well, maybe not absolutely not. I would say never, but there's certainly still some room to improve on the first and second accounts. But the third account, oh boy, very different story. I do have at least a usable set on the third account, which is the account I'm on right now. Because, look, here's my Whimsy set on this account. It's a 4-piece Whimsy set, right? Not bad, right? That's on White Tassel. White Tassel. Okay, here they are. Flower. Okay, Flower, gotta say, not bad. Could have been better, right? That one roll of defense could have gone into crit rate. That one roll of flat attack could have gone into crit damage. This would have been perfect. Right? But still not bad. Somehow made it through. Feather, yikes. Attack, yeah, it's okay. Something. Right? Goblet, the same thing. Circlet, well, it's an off piece. Yeah, it's an off piece, so it's okay. Hey, what's up, Bozan? Good to see you, man. I was wondering if it's worth it to put the Hunter set on Diluc. Hunter set on Diluc, because my team's Diluc, Xingqiu, and Bennett. Yeah, it actually is. Yeah. Yeah, I actually tried that. I actually tried that on my Diluc. I think it would still be better to go with 4-piece Shimenawa, but 4-piece Hunter is certainly very viable. As for how much how much of a difference there is, and which one's better, I'm pretty sure it's still 4-piece Shimenawa, but I don't know how much of a difference it is. But yeah, certainly very viable as long as you have a really good 4 hunter set. Serpent Spine level 80, so now Gaming is happy. Oof, wow. Well, if you're planning to use Gaming long term, I would recommend getting more refines on that Serpent Spine. New mode in Simulator Universe. What is that? That's in HSR, right? Quickly, if you don't have a follow-up attack team, at least you crit, I guess. Well, okay. So including Arlecchino's passive, no, not passive. Ascension stat. It doesn't look bad, honestly. Plus 38.4, right? This would be like a 73-177 ratio. But I I want my ratios to be decent without crit from weapons and without crit from ascension stats. And that's sort of like my baseline, like my minimum acceptable like end game stats. Right? And remember, this is okay, I would say this is minimum acceptable end game stats for me if White Tassel wasn't a crit weapon. But it is. So for me, I see this as like a 50-138 ratio, really, is what I look at this as. Which is just below the minimum acceptable end game stats for me. So that's why I'm still farming this domain on this account. But that's just me. It's just, I don't really have anything else to use my resin on. Well, technically I do. I still don't, well, I do kind of have a usable 4-piece set of the 4-piece sets from the new Natlan domains. It's on Kinich, and it is on this account. So it's kind of okay if... It's kind of okay for me to not farm for it immediately. Because in case, for example, in case I still don't have a good, like my final, like, Whimsy set for Arlecchino, and then Mawika already comes out. At least I can just go and take Kinich's set and put it on Mawika temporarily. At least I already have usable stuff. Oh dear, the other one did get swirled, I think. Today I saw a meme. Shenhe last banner was before HSR release date. Oh no, that's not even a meme, man. I mean, it is a meme, but it's a meme to everyone who doesn't care. But to everyone who does, it absolutely is not a meme. Oh, get this, by the way, get this. Today I found out Shenhe has had 2 birthdays and only 1 banner. Right? She's had 2 birthdays and only 1 banner. What's the best set for that team? What? Oh, the team you for Diluc, you mean? For Diluc, I believe it's 4-piece Shiminawa. I mean, don't quote me on that. I have to I have to point this out. I'm not a math guy, so I don't actually know. As for me, I do actually. Well, I have used that team. I don't use it regularly, but I think I put my Diluc on 4-piece Shiminawa on those teams. Because it's a, 50% plunge damage, right? That's a lot of damage. Oh god. Oh, come on. I don't have time for this. Okay, well, at least give me something. Okay, well, alright, let's see. Let's see if it actually becomes usable. You know, I hate it when they do this to me. It's they're so good at doing that. They're so good at making me hope. What was this movie that I remember? It was like a famous actor. Like there was a scene and with a famous actor in it that said, "Don't give me hope. Don't give me hope." Man, what movie was that? I can't remember what movie it was from. That wasn't bad actually. Yeah, that wasn't bad. It was at least attack percent, but I think that might have been better than my current feather. But because my current feather gives me a decent balance of stats, so I won't be replacing my feather. But hey, it's something to hold on to, I guess. Okay, I guess it's time for me to roll the stuff that has potential to be good and potential to be bad. Come on, stop it. Stop showing me that you have the potential to be good because you already have. You've already lost. Come on. Okay, well. This is already heading towards copium. Copium territory. If it stays this way, if it goes into defense, I don't know what to do with myself anymore. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't have anyone that needs that set, but well, I have something for them. Jeez. You know, I can't say if if it's become an actual pattern, but I've noticed that most of the time when I okay, no, stop rolling that. Okay, most of the time when I cap on resin, or when I nearly no, maybe not nearly, but yeah, when I do cap on resin, which I almost did today, by the way, I almost did, just barely didn't, just by like 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes. Um, I noticed that when I cap my resin, I saw not all the time, but I sometimes get pretty okay luck with artifacts, both farming and rolling. Wait, oh no! Actually, I did actually cap my resin on this account today, but not for very long. It was only for like 30 seconds or so, less than a minute. Oh, come on. Still can't. Oh no, I forgot to condense my resin. Forgot to condense my resin. Attack percent is so good because you're on tassel too. It is, yeah. Hey, what's up, Mighty? Good to see you, man. Can't wait to get C1 Neuvillette, man. Because, like, you know, stuff like that keeps happening to me all the time. And it's really getting old. It's really getting old. And this, like, 40-ish K per tick on Neuvillette, probably gonna go all the way to, like, 50K when I get C1. In this specific team. It's funny how people say RJ has high standards when I only upgrade double crit artifacts. Yeah, yeah, right. Like I don't think I actually have high standards for artifacts. I guess like relative to new players, I do, but relative to most endgame players, I think I have pretty just okay standards. 2 hours. Okay, no need to condense anymore. Why would you roll a feather without double crit, to be honest? Feathers and flowers need the highest crit value, so you can go easier the other three. Sometimes, yeah, so yeah, in a lot of cases, crit value is pretty valuable. But sometimes I take into account, so okay, here's an example. Okay, the Reverie set, right? It's sort of a burning set. So what stats are potentially useful for characters that could be run in a burning team other than crit? So maybe attack percent, and like for a very long time now, we've gotten quite a wide variety of characters that scale off of different stats, right? Like attack, HP, defense, and even like to some degree EM and ER even, right? So a lot of stats are sort of useful now, like especially in some of the more unusual teams. Like for example, in freeze teams, right? It's pretty hard to justify an EM substat, you know. So, right. So of course, in an artifact set for what's clearly for a freeze or cryo character, a cryo character in a freeze team, then I would be very unwilling to accept any EM substats. So if a feather has max crit rate roll, max let's say attack percent roll, and one EM substat, right? One roll EM and max ER roll, right? So 3 really good stats, really good and useful stats. Okay. Whatever. I almost got excited. Okay, as I was saying, in that case, because I have 3 potentially useful stats, I'm gonna give that thing a try. I'm gonna give that thing a try, and if it rolls really well, then I'll have a pretty good artifact, right? But if it loses 2 rolls into stats that aren't crit damage, like if it just goes, if it loses 2 rolls into attack percent or into ER, then if it goes into ER, I'll think about like, okay, do I already have the character that could use this, and do I need more ER on them? Am I lacking ER on them? And I'll give that I'll give that some thought. And if yes, then I'll keep rolling. If I already have the character that needs that set, and I know that, okay, well, they don't need any more ER. Like they're a low ER kind of character. Then I'll think, okay, so ER was decent but not necessary. Then I'll stop rolling that thing. Alright, I take a lot of stuff into account. There's like I wouldn't even be able to outline like a guide, like a checklist into. I wouldn't even know how to make a guide on like how I decide whether or not to keep an artifact, because there are so many like what if this, what if that, what if this, what if that, and they're so situational. And the bigger the Genshin character roster gets, I think the more complicated this like thought process of mine has to get in order to keep up. All right. Time to. Oh wait, how much time? Okay, I got. Um, how many minutes? 13 minutes, I believe, before my resin caps on the other accounts. Hey, what's up, Melodo? Good to see you, man. Sorry, man. I saw your message earlier. I forgot to respond. Sorry. I had a lot on my in mind. Way too high for my own good. It stresses me out so much. Yeah. That is something that I had to change. Um. Oh no. Like at the beginning, my standards were a little too low, and when your standards are too low, what happens is you keep running out of um artifact XP. And when you say standards are too low, standards of like what you would deem as having potential to be good. And if you raise that standard, that will ultimately result in you having a little bit more artifact XP, and you lower your like final product, like final product like standard. Oh, there's no hydro on any of them. Did get to swirl. Okay, there. If you lower your final product like the standard for what you deem to be a final product is, then you will have way more usable artifacts that you can switch around between all your different characters. And it took me a while to get that going, right? Like to make that into a habit, but eventually it made me a lot less miserable. I wouldn't say a lot happier, but it made me a lot less miserable when farming artifacts. "99% of the time you're overthinking, though." Yes, that's that's true. That's true. 99% of the time I am overthinking. Yeah. How do you raise your standards? Sorry, I'm a noob. It's just hang on. So I guess like okay, so from a moment ago, I outlined I mentioned two standards, right? Because there are of course there are multiple opportunities for you to decide to keep an artifact or to just move on to the next one, right? Like when you get it for the first time, which is when it's +0, and when you start rolling it, right? Whether you decide to keep going or to stop, and when it's +20, whether it's good enough for you to keep and just lock and just be like a potential artifact that you can use on like all the future characters you'll have, or not. So the standard for oops, I should have gone genuine first, or not genuine, Xilonen. Oh boy. Okay, so the first one, like artifacts at +0, whether I decide to give it a go to see if it has the potential to be good. So there are, man, this is gonna be a long yap. It's gonna be a long yap. So depending on which artifact it is, so feathers and flowers typically are a little less likely to go bad. So my standards for those at +0 are a little higher than with the Sands, Goblet, and Circlet. So, okay, so you said you're a noob, right? So I guess I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk about this as if like, you know, talking to a new guy, somebody who's not very familiar with Genshin stuff yet. So feathers and our feather main stats are guaranteed always to be flat attack, right? Hang on, that's there. So this is the feather, right? This is the main stat, and like the main stat of a feather is always flat attack, right? So that's one less, I guess, layer to RNG, right? So they're slightly less likely to go poorly, right? Because you only have these 4 lines that could go randomly, right? And same with the feather, except for flat attack, it's flat HP, right? So they're always flat HP. But the sands can be so many stats, and the goblet especially can be so many stats. Same with the circlet, can be so many stats. So my standards for this at +0 are a little higher than the sands, goblet, and circlet. So what I look for is if it, man, okay. I was thinking like where to start. Well, I guess where to start would be, what set am I farming? And yeah, what set is that? And if it's a set, dude, I don't even know where to begin. I'm trying to explain this and I don't know where to start. There's so many things I think about. Okay, I guess I could use the artifact domain that I'm farming now as an example. So this artifact domain is kind of very Natlan exclusive-ish. You know, depending on because like the way it works is like it's almost, oh my god, I forgot to condense resin. It's almost Natlan exclusive-ish, so it's not. The number of characters that can potentially use this in the future are slightly fewer than the number of characters that can potentially use something like a 4 Marchese Hunter set, or what's another set that could be that's like really versatile? 4-piece emblem, or 4-piece Shimenawa. So I'm not the way I think about it about that fact is, I think, okay, right now I don't really have anyone who really needs this set right now. So I can set my standards a little bit higher than normal. I can take my time getting the artifact set that I want because I don't need it right away. So that's just one layer of the stuff that that I think about. Start with a character of their choice. Yeah. That of course, right? Character of their choice. Of course, it's niche. Yeah, that's true. It is a very niche domain. This is not where I need to be. Oh, I think my main account might cap on resin for a few minutes. So generally, what I look for is, because I'm sort of raising my standard for. Oh hey, what's up, Maisa? Good to see you, man. Yeah, emblem. Thank you, Papasaur. So when I say I raise my standards for a +0 artifact, what I what I see, and I decide to myself, I think to myself, okay, I'm gonna lock this and I'm gonna roll this later on because it has the potential to be good. For a flower and a feather, I generally look for crit rate or crit damage that is like a max roll, or if not a max roll, then at least a high roll. And then a few other stats. So right now, Natlan, we're kind of not really sure yet what Natlan's thing is, because generally each element has their thing. Like they have a certain stat that is like most often associated with it. Like Electro with energy recharge, Dendro with EM, uh, what else? Hydro with HP, stuff like that. Geo with defense. So we kind of don't know what Natlan's stat is going to be, like like Natlan's stat is going to be. So I don't know what stat really I should really look for yet, other than crit rate and crit damage. Energy recharge, that's sort of a given because like no, regardless of what a character's jeez, okay, I gotta deal with this again. Regardless of what a character's kit is, if they are burst dependent, then they're almost useless. They could be potentially useless if they cannot burst. If they cannot burst every rotation, or they're gonna be just a waste of character slots. So, energy recharge, that's a given. Okay, that's something that I look forward to. Offensive stats, like I said, we kind of don't really know what Natlan's stat is going to be. So it could be attack percent, it could be defense, it could be HP. Right? We saw Molani scale with HP, and then now we have Xilonen scale with defense, and we also have Kinich scale with attack. So, okay, I guess like getting any of these three stats is not terrible. When I see them, I see like a max crit rate roll with a defense roll with a defense percent roll. As long as it's not flat defense, flat attack, I'm okay with that. Max crit rate roll, defense percent, attack percent, and then like it's a three-liner. Then the fourth, like when I take it to +4, I have the potential for it to give me another useful stat, and I upgrade that to +4. If it gives me crit damage, then certainly I'm gonna keep going. But if it doesn't give me crit damage, it gives me something like let's say it gives me let's say my first three stats were crit rate, attack percent, and energy recharge. Then if my fourth stat becomes something like the defense percent, then it's not terrible. If it rolls all into crit rate, that's actually going to be a pretty good artifact. So I keep rolling until +8, and then if it goes into defense, then it's garbage. But if it goes into attack percent, I'll think maybe okay, let's go to +12, and then if it goes to +12, it gives me crit rate. Then I keep going. If it gives me defense percent, then okay, complete garbage. If it gives me ER, and I'll think maybe. And +16, it doesn't roll into any of the three stats, then yeah, complete garbage. So yeah, a lot of decision making, and that's why I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but I'm often like not very. I often can't pay very much attention to chat, like when I stream and I'm upgrading artifacts, because like I'm doing all this like mental juggling. Every time I'm upgrading artifacts. Would you be interested to watch an HSR demo 09? Sorry, what's a demo 09? My absolute favorite one. Released, and I kind of want to share it with you. Sure, but maybe not now. Ooh, oh no, my main account is capped on resin, and I'm here upgrading artifacts. Okay, here's a good example, right? So this was a feather. It had a potentially useful stat, EM, had a potentially useful stat, energy recharge, and it has a most likely useful stat, but low roll. Not the lowest roll. Lowest roll is 5.4, but it's a low roll. So if this went into crit rate, if my fourth stat went into crit rate, then I'll think, okay, wow, like it's not very likely to turn into garbage. But it did give me flat defense, so I'm gonna give this one roll. See if it goes into crit damage. If it doesn't, then it's complete garbage to me. Yeah, that's wow. You know what? That's a high EM roll, like both those. So I'm gonna give this one more roll. So far we haven't. Okay, complete garbage. So far we haven't had any Natlan characters that really need EM. I guess Milani to some degree, but it's mostly because Vape uh, benefits quite a lot from EM, but not because a Natlan character, that character, needs EM. Okay, I'm gonna finish using up my resin later on this account. I gotta stop the bleeding. I gotta stop the bleeding on the first account. Hey, what's up, Mr. Jake? Left arm is healed, but it's not really ready for a workout. Left arm is healed? What happened, Mighty? Gotta be careful with this cheese. Can't be jerky. Ripped some tissues. My left. Oh God. No. You know that's actually something that I've ever since I found out that that was a thing that could happen. And by the way, like I know it's kind of stupid, but I actually only learned that like ripping a muscle, like you know, either like just straight up ripping the muscle or like ripping the muscle off the bone that it's attached to, is an actual thing that could happen. I only learned about it as an adult already, like only within the last like 3 or 4 years. Ever since I learned about that, I've been I've been kind of well, I've always had this I guess positivity towards like going to the gym and like lifting weights and stuff. Right? Like, and I've never ever thought that there would be any negative I guess wow, just one cycle. Not bad. Any potential downsides to it. But since then I've been like really wary and cautious towards thinking about like lifting weights and stuff. I remember seeing this clip of this guy who was bench pressing, like it was something I don't know how much it was. Like he was a big guy, like, right? Like he was a pretty big guy, but he was bench pressing like something that looked way bigger than him, and like as he went for 1 rep, and like when he was going up, when he tried to go up, like you could see on his chest like something moving, you know, like something out of like an alien movie. Like it looked like there was something that moved like really quickly, just one jolt of movement, like under his chest, and then I saw that. And then like the clip that I saw it from too, like it showed captions of like telling exactly what happened, and as soon as it happened, it stopped and replayed in slow motion and zoom in, and I was like, oh, what is that? And then like over the next couple of months since I saw that video for the first time, I saw a few more clips of like YouTube channels by doctors and surgeons, and literally surgeries, like videos of surgeries on YouTube, I guess fixing exactly that condition where a muscle was ripped. And I was like, whoa, this is an actual thing. Alright, I guess pumping iron isn't as good as I thought it was. I mean, it's good, but wow, jeez, it's risky. Especially because I have actually I have actually worked out in the gym before, and not just that, but like I'm I'm a I'm not like a huge dude, but I'm not small either. Like I'm a pretty big dude for uh you know my demographic, I guess. I'm certainly not the biggest, but I'm also not small. And so I've always had, like, every time I've needed to lift something big or really heavy, that most people that I've ever met uh, have considered to be like, okay, wait, like, let's get somebody else to help out. Like they think it's a two-man job, and I look at it and I'm like, I can lift this, right? And lo and behold, okay, I'm like, okay, like, all right, just 30 seconds, just move it from here to there. And I guess, like, how I look at that is, I guess I'm somebody who has I guess access to and I've like, I guess, quick bursts of quick bursts of, like, sudden, like, strength or power, but I'm not a very, like, endurance kind of guy. I'm a big Asian boy, RJ. Certainly not the biggest, though. Like, certainly not the biggest. I certainly feel inferior whenever I see someone, like, way bigger. That makes me look tiny in comparison. Because there are plenty of guys out there that are bigger than me. But I'm not, like, a typical, like, skinny Asian dude. But I do have to say, like, despite being Asian, Filipinos are generally not tiny and skinny. They're generally like big and, well, not big, not very tall, but not small. Well, small-ish in height, but, like, stout. Hey, what's up, NDG? Good to see you, man. Oops. You mean dwarvish? I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Not completely like Lord of the Rings dwarves, but yeah, pretty close. I would say pretty close. Like short legs, well, short-ish legs. Oh, jeez, I keep forgetting the goodness resin. Lean. Nah. Nah. I wouldn't say. No, I don't think the word lean is anywhere close to being appropriate. Because your typical. Okay, so, like, let's say your typical dad bod in America, right? Like, for your typical, like, white Caucasian male, white Western Caucasian male is like maybe somewhere around like 5'10" at the shortest, to like 6, I don't know, 6'3" maybe. But despite, like, looking from afar, looking like pretty fat, right? Looking pretty fat and, like, really unfit. But, like, when you get close to them, they're like, you'll notice that they're actually, like, their arms, like their forearms and their biceps are actually pretty big. So slightly, I guess, shorter and smaller than that is what I would say is what I think to be, like, your typical, like, Filipino male, your average Filipino male build. Chubby is cuter. Chubby is just fat cope. Hey, welcome back, Ali. 9K crystals. Just how obese. Oh god. You know, I don't think there's like, okay, there is a medical, I would say, medical definition for the word obese, but like the way I, when I, the way I guess, categorize someone as obese is like somebody who's like really, really overweight and like somewhat unhealthy because of being overweight. Like if they're being overweight is causing them medical issues. That's generally how I consider someone to be obese. Unless if it's just, yeah, unless if they're just morbidly obese, then like that's obviously, I would like whether or not I know that they're suffering some kind of medical condition because of how overweight they are, then I would like, easily consider them to be obese. If they're just huge, like, like 500, 600 pound dude. Okay, all right, we are in the clear. I can go back to my first account now and finish up my resin over there. Some 60s. 60s? Oh, AR 60s. Joined my world yesterday and asked them if I should pull for Nahida, Neuvillette, or Xiangling. Sorry, what? Xingling. Xiangling? Sorry. Xiangling's not a 5-star. You can't pull for her. Neuvillette has not been announced to have a well, okay, rumors 5.2. Yes. Rumors. Not official, but rumors. Nahida, if it's your first Nahida, I would highly recommend getting Nahida. If you don't have Nahida, just get a Nahida. I just think Nahida enables so many teams. Mostly Dendro, but so many Dendro teams. Just having Nahida just makes your account feel so much more different. It just feels like it's so much more usable. Thick women are cool. Well, I guess that would depend on how thick they are. I have a thing for proportions. I'm a proportions kind of guy. I'm not like a size kind of guy. Oh, I just realized it's midnight already, so I can do daily check-ins. I was thinking about getting Nahida, but I can't. At the C6 floor end. Oh god, really? Wait, you don't have Nahida yet, but you're skipping like even as important as Nahida, which basically means you're skipping everyone until you see 6 floor end. I would, I would recommend just getting a Nahida for now. In fact, Nahida, you could even say that Nahida is an extra Chlorend constellation. Just having Nahida makes Chlorend so much better. Especially in single target. Any rumors about Alhaitham? I'm desperate. Didn't Alhaitham recently have a rerun? Not super, kind of recently. Well, it wasn't super recent, I guess, but sort of recently. He reran together with Chlorend, and that's when I got them both. Wait, no. It wasn't a Chlorend rerun. I think that was Chlorend's release. Yeah. It was when Chlorend came out. Alhaitham also reran. So not super recently, but sort of recently. So, I don't know. I mean, like, even Risley hasn't had a rerun yet. They both said I should pull for Neuvillette for DPS if I don't know if they're trolling or not. No, no, like they're not trolling. They're telling you the truth. Neuvillette is also super valuable. Like dude, you just saw me use Neuvillette like all like like in however many domain runs I did, like probably like almost 30 domain runs just now, probably more than 30 domain runs, and you saw how good he is. And this isn't even like a super good like Neuvillette. Like okay, sure, it's decently built, but like no signature weapon, no constellations, right? And you saw how good that was. And you also saw how easily I dealt with those domains with Neuvillette. So they're not trolling you. They are telling you the truth. Neuvillette is super good, and so they said if for DPS, which is true, yeah, because Neuvillette does not have any off-field capabilities. He's a completely on-field character, but he's very good at it. He's very good at being an on-field character because an on-field character doesn't really have, like there's not much that can make an on-field character useful other than just doing damage. In Tartalia's case, like, hang on, do I have it? No, I'm not on that account. So in Tartalia's case, where is he? Yeah, in Tartalia's case, he does an okay amount of damage. It's not nothing, but he doesn't do very good damage, personally. But what he does is he puts Hydro on enemies so that a character like Xiangling can do a lot of damage, right? So, but other than that, like I can't really think of any other reasons why an on-field character like Tartalia or Neuvillette would be, useful, right? Other than doing a lot of damage or putting an element on enemies so that your other characters can do a lot of damage. And Neuvillette does a lot of damage, which is his thing. So yeah, I'm doing air quotes here, for DPS, yes. Get Neuvillette for DPS, but he hasn't been officially announced yet. And Nahida's here. Right? Well, not here yet. He will be, or rather, she will be. So, another thing too is, okay, Neuvillette's rerun in 5.2 is still just rumors, as I've said multiple times already. Still just rumors, so it's not official yet. So what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen is Nahida is coming in the second half of 5.1. So meaning it's gonna be towards the end of 5.1. And before 5.1 goes away, we're going to get our 5.2 special program. In case you don't know what that is, a special program is when Hoyo announces all the stuff that's going to happen in 5.2, including the 5-star, the 5 stars that are the new 5 stars that are getting released, and the 5-star reruns that are happening. So you can just wait. You can just wait until the because Nahida is in the second half of 5.1, so her banners are going to be live when we get the 5.2 special program. Then you will get your confirmation whether or not Neuvillette is actually rerunning in 5.2. And if it is confirmed, then you can decide, okay, do I skip Nahida and get Neuvillette? Right? Then you can make the decision. But if it is confirmed that Neuvillette's not rerunning in 5.2, then you can pull the trigger for Nahida guaranteed. Don't glorify Ginger. You can never. Jeez. Child is emotional support for the Neuvillette teams. Yeah, you just want the +1 attack, +1 normal attack talent, passive. Death Race 2000 if you like Carmageddon and Stallone. Oh, jeez. My dad's a pretty big fan of Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, he's just that kind of dude. Your typical dad from the 60s. But I gotta say, I was a big fan of those guys when I was a kid, too. Death Race 2000. This sounds familiar. I might have seen it before. But like really, like a really long time ago. Okay, I definitely have not seen this thing. Dude, this looks. Sorry, I just. It looks badass, but at the same time, it looks ridiculous. Like I don't know how that happened. Oh God, what is this thing, man? What is this movie? What's up, Goshander? How's it doing? How's it going, man? Probably heard about the remake. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. The title just sounds familiar to me. This thing looks. It somehow looks. Okay, I guess the only thing badass about it is the fact that it's Stallone, but like everything looks so cartoony. It looks like it. It looks like it's just straight up came out of like Speed Racer or something. Everything is just so cartoony, but IRL. Okay, anyway, time to talk about the banners. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but yesterday, the Nahida and Hutao banners have been officially. Well, banners are not out yet, but banner information, rather, have been released. It spawned Carmageddon. Ah, I see. Alright. Man, these banners, pretty good. I don't know about how anyone feels about Sethos. Has any? I don't remember anyone ever talking about Sethos. Like people talked about Sethos before he was released, and then when he was released, like it just crickets. Everyone just, everyone suddenly shut up about Sethos when he was released. Finally, C6 Kuki. C6 Kuki is pretty good, right? It's like a Hu Tao C6, I believe. It prevents her from dying or something. Oh, yeah. Takes lethal damage. She will not die. Effect automatically trigger when her HP reaches 1. Triggers once every 60 seconds. 24%. 150. Wow. That's pretty good. She gets on another 150 EM when going below 25% HP. Nice. Nice. That's pretty good. Man, that's actually pretty good. C6 Xingqiu though. Yeah. C6 Xingqiu is it's something that you don't really notice happening, but you will just notice enemies dying a little faster once you get C6. You also will notice that enemies are less likely, like are more often. They more often have Hydro on them. Hey, welcome back, Ollie. Time to go and eat dinner. Oh, all right. Enjoy your dinner, Bulbasaur. See you, man. But yeah, these banners are pretty banger. Xingqiu and Kuki, I don't think need any explanation. Kuki Shinobu basically you have Kuki Shinobu. Okay, you can use you now have a Hyper Bloom team. You don't have Kuki Shinobu? Okay, well sucks to be you. Get good. Get lucky. Stop being unlucky. That's it. Right? Kuki. Well, I know that you can use Raiden Shogun and a few other Copium characters for Hyper Bloom teams, but really, it's really only Kuki Shinobi and Raiden Shogun. And if you don't mind using Raiden Shogun as a full EM character, I guess it's fine. To some degree, she's better than Kuki at Hyper Bloom, but I don't think you're pulling Raiden Shogun just for to build her full EM. So yeah, Kuki Shinobu. I'm gonna go Hutao. Oh, really? Really? Well, what are you planning to? What kind of team you planning to use her in? To Vorik? Fischl ain't half bad too. Fischl, yeah, no, certainly not. Like Fischl is like one of the OG like top like 4 stars. Even today, like Fischl is the reason why Yamiko isn't very good. Yeah, because in a lot of cases, it's just better to put Fischl in the team than Yamiko. Because like she basically does the same damage, probably more. I don't know. Um, and on top of that, she generates so many particles. I guess Sethos is the weak link on this banner. He's not bad, but in fact, I think he's a pretty like if I was the kind of Genshin player that liked trying out different like a new character kit every now and then. I think I might actually enjoy playing Sethos because he has, I think, 2 or 3 different playstyles that are viable. But as soon as I heard about like his different playstyles, I was like, okay, that's way too complicated for me. No thanks. And he's a 4 star, so he has lower stats than a 5 star. So I already have 5 stars, so why would I hurt myself like that? I'm not a masochist, so. But I think Sethos is okay. Yeah, I think Sethos is usable if you have good enough artifacts to make him actually good. He's pretty interesting. He has multiple playstyles, which I don't remember anymore because I didn't even bother to think about using him. Oh man. If Xingqiu, I'll get my C6 on this banner, my Yelan C1, Xilonen. I'll change after 5.2. Change? Then I change. Finally, I get my Hutao. 400 rolls. I'll try C1 signature and weapon. Oh man, sounds like you've prepared for this, Tavoric. Well, in that case, don't let me stop you. Don't let me stop you. I wish you luck, man. It sounds like you've prepared for this. It sounds like you're all in on Hutao. I wouldn't recommend Hutao to most players nowadays, but seeing as like you've prepared so much already for Hutao, you might as well, right? Might as well. She's definitely not a bad character. She is, however, like high investment when it comes to like she's a pretty high investment character. Like her damage floor is not super low, but it's low-ish. But once you get her going, like you get like her significant constellation C1. You have Homa, and you have characters that are really good with her, like you mentioned Xilonen, Yelan, and Xingqiu. Yeah, her damage ceiling is pretty high. There is another like high investment thing, like other than like Primogems and wishes and resin that Hutao is also like high investment in is effort. The effort to like learn how to use her, like to be able to like push out more damage, because there's a pretty big difference in Hotao's potential DPS if you're not, if you're being lazy using her or you're try harding. Because try harding gets you okay. Oops. Let's swap to Hutao. Then yeah, there it is. So try harding gets you this, right? You get way more charged attacks per like within your what's it called, the infusion window. But if you're being lazy about it and you don't animation cancel, then you're out of position, out of position, out of position, out of position, and you're charged attacking way less within your infusion window. So yeah, she's high investment both in resources and in effort. But as long as you don't mind that, or in fact, if you know, like me for example, I actually enjoy that about Hutao. Then yeah, you're definitely gonna love her. She's awesome. As a person who had Lisa as an Electro till AR-55, I could not agree more. Lisa. Jeez. Oh man. Wait, did you actually use Lisa for Hyper Bloom? Or did you just use her as a straight up DPS? Everyone's usable with enough investment and skill though? Yes. Yeah. But uh the idea is to which characters become usable with the least amount of investment, or become the most usable, or give us the most out of a certain amount of investment. Well, at least that's most people's ideas. I don't know, like I'm sure there are some masochists in chat that hate themselves and just want to shoot themselves in the foot. So, you know, you do you. I would recommend going and killing Oceanid with Barbara if you're a masochist. Yeah. Good luck with that. I'll need a lot of luck. Zero pity, 50-50. Oh, yikes. I have all artifacts for her, 142 crit damage. Without her passive skills, 40% crit rate. I forgot what Hutao's Ascension stat is. I think it's crit damage, right? In that case, I think you're going to need a little bit more than those crit ratios, man. But hey, best of luck. Best of luck. Artifacts are certainly something that can continue to improve as long as you keep farming for them. I need Hutao luck. I'm a 50-50, and I'm exactly zero pity with 89 wishes. I hope I get her. Oh, good luck, Akuma. Best of luck, man. You recommend me going full on her signature, or should I get her C1 and then the other banner? The other banner? You mean Nahida? Oh, okay. If you have, I don't think I have one. I have literally one. Literally one. Okay. So, if you have a high refinement Dragonsbane, like R4 or higher, right? If you have R4 or higher Dragonsbane, then okay, I guess here's the thing. R5 Dragonsbane is only like I think it's like less than 5%. I think it's only less than 5% weaker than R1 Staff of Homa. It's somewhere within like 4 or 5% weaker. Like it's only 4 or 5% behind Staff of Homa. The only problem is if your Dragon's Bane is low refinement, then of course the difference between it and Homa become bigger. And because it doesn't give you crit rate or crit damage like Staff of Homa does, and it doesn't give you HP percent like Staff of Homa does, then you're gonna need some pretty good artifacts to actually make your Hutao good with Dragon's Bane. And by pretty good artifacts, you're gonna need artifacts like because again, it's not you don't get crit rate, crit damage, and HP from Dragon's Bane. You do get like just straight up purely offensive stats, right? Elemental Mastery, right? Obviously boosts up your vape damage. Deal X amount of damage percent against enemies affected by Hydro. Obviously, that's gonna happen when you're vaping with Hutao, right? Enemies will have Hydro on them. And of course, this goes up the more you refine it, I believe it goes up to 40. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, right. It's a lot of damage. Right? Raw offensive stats. But and like I said, you're gonna need some really good artifacts to make your Hutao good if you're going Dragon's Bane. And by really good, I mean like you will need to get all the crit that you would ideally want to have purely from your artifacts, because again, you're not getting crit from your weapon. Dragon's Bane's R3. Um, well, I guess in that case, I would recommend like you just go online and like look up, I don't know, like some chart or somewhere. Just look up on Reddit or like just anywhere online or some on YouTube maybe. Like if somebody's done testing or like done them, I'm sure somebody's done the math on it, just like to show you the difference between the different Dragon's Bane refinements versus Staff of Homa. Like Hutao is a pretty prominent character. I'm sure somebody's done the math on it. But yeah, I would recommend looking that up, because I would, if you have like, if you had a high refinement, if you had an R5 Dragon's Bane, and if you have like pretty good artifacts already, then I would actually recommend you go for Hutao, Hutao C1, and then Nahida. And if you get Nahida and still have Primogems by then okay, I would recommend you go for Staff of Homa. But yeah, like I would even say prioritize if you have a high refinement Dragon's Bane, I would even say prioritize C1 and Nahida over Staff of Homa. But R3, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I want Hutao and Nahida. Please wish me luck, RJ, on stream. Love your vids. Hey, appreciate it, YK. Good luck, man. Wish you luck on your Hutao wishes. How good is Blackcliff full for Hutao? It's okay. It's okay. It's not bad. It's just not very good. So I guess what makes it good, not very good, right? Like there's a difference. I'm not saying it's very good. What makes it okay for Hutao is the fact that it's crit damage, which makes it a little easier for you to reach your crit thresholds, right? Your crit ratio, like your ideal crit ratio. But other than that, it really doesn't have much going for it. Um, the How much base attack did it have? I think I have. I think I have Blackcliff here. Haha, I do. Because when I got Hu Tao on her initial release when she. Oh hey, what's up, Stella? Good to see you, man. Thanks, loved your videos. Hey, appreciate it, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Hey, what's up, ABC? I hope Hoyo introduces a new 5-star Hydro, or Electro DPS, specifically tailored for Hyperbloom. I only use my C2 Nahida for Abyss. I kind of miss her in Overworld. Well, why don't you use Nahida in Overworld? Hydro or Electro DPS? I would say, yeah. Like, I would agree with that. Especially. Electro especially because right now we really only have like 2 characters for Hyperbloom. Raiden Shogun and Kuki Shinobu. I guess to some degree, Chlorind to some degree. But her ability to hit Bloom Seeds isn't super reliable. But it's also not unreliable either, because like her E, like thrusts, are have a decent AoE to them. I'm new to the game. You're new to the game and you've already saved up 400 pulls? How'd you do that, man? Oh, wait, are you saying, are you a whale? After building 85 pulls in Genshin, I will AFK in 5.2. Once I finish the upcoming Archon quest, I will AFK for 42 days, which means I'm going back. Maybe back in 5.3. Oh, really? You going somewhere, Jino? I only have 2 T5. Sorry, what's T5? So I saved a lot for her. Not even a single penny in this game. Oh, really? Okay, well that's good. That's good. Electro 5-star that. That's Hyperbloom crit. On how much EM they have. Oh man, that sounds nuts. Like having 1k EM. The crit Hyperbloom is 80%, has the fixed 100% crit damage. Oh, that's pretty cool actually. I saw Aizen killing Gin. uh, I do remember that scene, yeah. Man, Gin was sort of a waste, right? Like he was like I gotta say, like it was a waste of a character. Like not, writing wise, but I'm talking about like power wise. Gin was pretty powerful. Like like he could have been a pretty big asset to the Gote 13. And for deathmatch or Staff of Homa. What's the appeal of Bleach? So it's another. It's like one of the older, like overpowered MC animes, right? Sort of like Naruto, but Ichigo actually has his head on straight, and Ichigo doesn't have talk no jutsu, whereas like and like his head being on straight makes up for the fact that he doesn't have talk no jutsu, whereas talk no jutsu. Naruto has talk no jutsu, which makes up for the fact that especially when he was a kid, he didn't really have his head on straight, you know. So I would say that's what appeals to me about Bleach. I'll probably get Blackcliff Pole. Oh man, that's rough. Well, I guess if you have okay, I guess Dragon's Bane is not a very common 4-star weapon. Like I don't hear too many people say they have Dragon's Bane. But if you have at least one Dragon's Bane, I would recommend just going Dragon's Bane instead of Blackcliff. But if you really have no other options, then yeah. And that's why like earlier I mentioned Hutao is pretty high investment because she doesn't have that many that many free to play options. Like that many good free to play options. That concept is like Jane Doe in ZZZ. She's like that. You build EM that game because she has fixed crit rate on how much EM she has, fixed crit damage, that type of elemental reaction. Oh, dude, that's pretty cool. That's like a Nahida C2, but you can actually like build it up with their stats. Dude, that would be so sick. If that blew your mind, Stella, then what is it called? Oh shoot, what's the final arc called? I don't know if this is actually the final arc, but it's it's towards the end of Bleach. Thousand Year Blood War arc. The conflict. Yeah, the conflict. Yeah, it's gonna blow your mind. Um, well, I kind of already know the end. I read the manga like way long ago, so I kind of already know how it ends. But I'm still excited to see it. Nahida or Hutao? Nahida. Any day. If you don't have Nahida, if you don't have Hutao, I would recommend Nahida over Hutao any day. Oh, by the way, Tivorik. Um, I don't want to burst your bubble. I don't want to burst your bubble, but and so earlier, I don't know if you remember, but I mentioned that I don't really recommend Hu Tao to most people anymore. Is like I said, she's high investment, but for the people that really enjoy her specific playstyle, then they're gonna love her. Um, And you know, like especially ever since Arlecchino's release, I've had less of a reason to recommend her because Arlecchino is easier to use in some regard, harder to use in another regard because the fact that you can't heal Arlecchino, but easier to use in another regard because okay, I guess I don't really have anything else to do on my accounts now, so I guess I'll just put them away. And I'll swap to my friend's account. I don't have Arlecchino on any of my accounts, but okay. So I'll swap to my friend's account. He has Arlecchino. And I can show why I would recommend Arlecchino over Hutao to most people. So, like I said, I don't want to burst your bubble. I don't know, like, if you really want Hutao because you really like her playstyle and you just really like her as a character, etc. But if you're only pulling for Hutao because you think that she's good, and you know she does good damage, and well, what else? And like, if that's like your main reason why you want to pull for, okay, he's in Abyss. I might get logged out here. My friend's probably logged in. Hi, RJ. I finished Natlan Archon quest and decided to finish 100 exploration simulator. I can finally start opening chests in Fontaine. I'll probably start with Hydroculi before chests. What do you mean? I can finally start opening chests in Fontaine. Are you like? Do you have some kind of like pact with yourself where you refuse to do any form of exploration in a region if you haven't 100%ed the previous region? Dylan is good, but the 4 stars in their banner are so bad. Well, Hoyo knows that. And that's why they're so bad. That's why they're so bad, yeah, because Hoyo knows how good Xilonen is. I'm still enjoying her very much despite getting Arlecchino. If you really like Hutao, go for her, but in terms of kit and comfort, go Arlecchino. Yeah, okay. So here's okay, let's put her in the same exact team as what you're planning to use your Hutao in, right? Because, you know, this is certainly a viable team, right? I would even say that Arlecchino is a little more flexible when it comes to team building. Arlecchino, yeah, I would say Arlecchino has more good teams than Hutao does. How do I? Okay, let's just go with dude. Okay, none of these cards. All right, none of these cards make me. I do not. None of these cards are like, all these cards affect me in some way. Okay, so whatever. Right. So all right, here's an example. So, okay, I have Xilonen, right? Which means I'm most likely using 4-piece Cinder City on Xilonen, which means I want to crystallize Pyro if I want to get the 40% Pyro damage buff from Cinder City. But in this team, I can't put Pyro on the enemy if I don't go into my Pyro infusion. Right? So I'm going to have to settle for not getting the 40% damage bonus. And I'll just be like, okay, well, at least my Hydro characters will have it. Okay, whatever. This guy's annoying. All right. But with Arlecchino, I can do this. Right? And because of the way Arlecchino works, I can't start doing damage right now. I have to let the thing cook. Oh look, it looks different now, right? Oops. Okay, now I can crystallize Pyro. And now my Arlecchino also has 40% damage bonus. And now my Arlecchino can go ham. Right? And she's slightly easier to use because Arlecchino is just purely normal attack based. Oh, not to mention, Arlecchino is also really low investment. She's really low investment. C1, her C1 gives her a lot, right? Like her C1 gives her so much, but she doesn't need her C1 to be fully functional. Technically, you don't really need C1 Hutao for Hutao to be fully functional, but it's gonna be really uncomfortable to be dash canceling on Hutao without C1. So you're more likely to be dash canceling sometimes and jump canceling most of the time if you don't have C1, right? Again, C1, that's an investment all on its own, right? Because that's an entirely new 5-star, right? The fact that you that's the fact that you get C1 Hutao means that you have one less other 5-star character. And okay, low investment. Arlecchino, I kid you not. Arlecchino's best free-to-play weapon is almost as good as her signature weapon. 3-star White Tassel. 3-star White Tassel, which I'm sure everyone has. Well, okay, maybe not everyone. I'm sure some people probably already fed all their White Tassels, and now they've already gotten all the Liyue chests and have zero potential for getting more White Tassels, so they're screwed. But, you know, if you have some more White Tassels, then yeah. Feel so bad for my sister. She's been wishing non-stop on Xilonen's banner and prepared a bit for her. Ended up getting Mona 82 pity. 82 pity, jeez. Oh, you know what? I don't know about you, but like, not all the time, but like, more often than not, I get pretty decent luck. Well, not decent luck. I'm sort of likely to get an early 5-star, like if I have to go to hard pity. Or like somewhere close to hard pity. Oh, another thing too, Dvorak, is Arlecchino has a slightly higher DPS ceiling than Hutao. So yeah, I guess those are some of Arlecchino's advantages. Is Arlecchino's best in slot free-to-play weapon is a very easy to get White Tassel. Oh, my friend doesn't have. Wait, what? He doesn't have any? No. Well, okay. I don't think he needs it anyway. My friend's a bit of a whale, so. Yeah, okay, he doesn't have any White Tassels. But yeah, I kid you not, the White Tassel is almost as good as Arlecchino's best in slot. So Arlecchino is way easier to build as a free-to-play. Have few White Tassels? Oh, dude, that's so unfortunate. You better hope you haven't explored much of Liyue yet. In that way, you'd have more opportunities to get more white tassels. Gonna be on the Nahida banner. Nahida and Hutao banner. Yes, yeah, that's true. That's true. But anyway, like I said, Tivorik, if you're all in on Hutao because you really like Hutao, you really like her playstyle, don't let me stop you. But if your only reason for going for Hutao was just because you knew that she does a lot of damage, then I would recommend just, waiting for an Arlecchino rerun. Save your primos. Just get Arlecchino C0. You don't have to get her signature weapon. You can get her C1 if you want to. Her C1 gives her so much damage anyway. Yeah. So that's sort of what I would say. Yeah. What's wrong, YK? Crazy how she can rock a 3-star weapon while also being an attack scaling unit, right? It's a 3-star weapon, which means very low base attack. That's true. That's true. My account's getting worse and worse. I barely I've barely any time to play, so it's terrible. Oh, okay. So no wonder why like the crit ratios that you said you had prepared for Hu Tao were not very good. They weren't bad, but they weren't. It certainly looked like the crit ratios of like a super new player, which you said you are, or somebody who doesn't play very actively, which you also just said you are. Arlecchino is bad, so I skipped her, and then I found out she lied to me. Oh no! Oh no, dude. Why'd you believe them, man? I mean, why'd you believe her without double checking, right? Like, always cross check? Yeah, always cross check your facts. Or at least, some have lost 75-25 weapon banner with Jade Spear, and Jade Spear is good for her too. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's another thing, too. Jade Spear is. What's the math on Jade Spear? Is it just as good as her signature? Like, isn't it? Yeah, isn't it just as good as her signature, or maybe even better? I don't remember. Will it kill to do research yourself? I can't stand ignorance. Second best in slot. Yeah, but like there's barely there's barely any difference, right? Okay, yeah. Here you go. Here he goes. Wrong person. He's a pretty big Arlecchino fan. Well, he's an Arlecchino main. Excuse me. Yeah, he's an Arlecchino main. If I don't have Xingqiu, is Arle slash Yelon slash Kazuha Xilonen Bible? Arle, Yelon, Kazuha Xilonen. Yeah, yeah, of course. You're gonna have so much pyro resistance shred with Xilonen and Kazuha. It's definitely viable, man. Definitely viable. Wow, not having Xingqiu. That is so weird to me. But like I know I know there's a lot of players out there who don't have Xingqiu but have Yelon. But it's just so weird to me. Like it's weird hearing it. But yeah, yeah, of course. It's definitely viable, Jalil. Or sorry, is that supposed to be pronounced as Halil or Jalil? Homa's rank bound for damage? Jeez, Homa. Homa better than her signature weapon. Fish out the highest number possible. Signature for best general use. General use best in slot. Second best in slot. Jade Spear. Then after that, just look at Tassel. Which characters do you hate in Genshin Impact? Paimon? Elgina's lore and design are top tier for me, and then her damage is also is insane. So perfect. I think it is cool that. Oh, no, not cool, but like it is relieving. It's relieving to me that Arlecchino was, like for a very long time she seemed like a bad guy, right? Like she seemed like a straight up bad guy, like all through and through. And then we find out she's not actually hostile, right? She's not actually hostile, and she's actually, like she's good, but just has like a very straightforward way, and like, she's very smart, very straightforward way of doing things. And but I am happy that she's not hostile towards us, because we know that Arlecchino is stronger than the Traveler. So lore wise, I don't know if it's good or not, but I'm just happy that she isn't, a straight up bad guy. Hi, what's up, Mina? How you doing, man? Welcome. Am I the only person that wants more evil characters in Genshin? No, no. I'm sure there are plenty of other characters in there, man. Sorry, not characters. Plenty of other players out there. Because, in fact, I remember Zajef complaining about how um, they decided to make Arlecchino into what she is now, instead of just making her a straight up bad guy. Yeah, so that's at least one person that probably thinks the same as you. I'm doing all right. What about you? I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm pretty excited, pretty happy. Pretty excited about the banners, which I will completely skip. I'm excited for. I'm excited for these banners because, well, they're very good. Unfortunately, I'm forced to skip them. But what I'm more excited for is the second half of 5.1. We are getting the 5.2 special program finally, and I will finally get my confirmation whether Neuvillette is rerunning or not. Because I don't know how much longer I can take it not having Neuvillette C1. I think Neuvillette, Arlecchino, and Mawika's banner would be next to each other. Oh, I heard some rumors that Arlecchino might rerun together with Mawika, and I was like, when I heard those rumors, I don't know, man. I did when I heard those rumors. I had dark thoughts. I suddenly had dark thoughts. I suddenly didn't want to live on this earth anymore. Hey Frank, I also want to Neuvillette C1, but I also want Mawika. Right? It's such a hard choice, man. It like if those rumors end up being true, like Neuvillette rerunning in 5.2, and Arlecchino rerunning with Mawika, oh man, that is so devastating. It's gonna be so devastating. Bring out your credit card, sell your kidneys, folks. AR-56 with no sucrose. Man, how do you do that? Well, I guess it's not very hard to do right now because I don't think sucrose has been on a banner in a while. But you need help with Tavorik. What does fruitful hook do? Oh, I gotta say. Hey. Oh, wait. Remember how earlier I was talking about Dragon's Bane? Well, apparently it's on the weapon banner. fruitful hook do? It's an attack percent weapon, high base attack, plunging attack crit rate. What? After a plunge attack hits an opponent, normal charge and plunging attack damage increased by 6. What? Plunging? Well, at least that's a Diluc weapon. I get it's for Gaming and for Diluc if you have Xianyun. Diluc business slot, I don't know about that. But oh, actually, yeah, maybe. Like business slot free to play, maybe. Business slot free to play. I'm sure the 5 stars is better than this, but free play option. I don't know if it could out damage Rain Slasher. Rain Slasher is pretty good in vape. I don't know if I have any. Oh, well, oh, there's. I have some. Yeah, I have a few. So I'm not actually gonna refine this. I just want to see. 36%. Wow, that's a lot of damage. And I believe its secondary stat is EM. So EM plus 36% damage bonus. Not bad. That's yeah. I don't know if it's better than Rain Slasher. But Rain Slasher is a low base attack weapon. Low base attack weapon, high EM weapon, so I don't know the math on that. Gravestone is just a attack stat stick. Red Horn is just a crit damage stat stick. Got Malani on 32 pity and Kinich on 42 pity, so I'm F2P. Hey, congrats, YK. For sure, Xianyun rerun with yeah. Oh, the rumors I heard were said that Madame Ping might come out in the story during Lantern Rite, but her banner might come out in the patch after Lantern Rite. At least that's what I heard. I need to her to rerun too. Soon too. Me too, but I don't want Shenhe to rerun soon. There are way too many characters that I need before Shenhe. I mean, I already have like all. Okay, I'm a Ganyu guy, right? Y'all know this. I'm not a whale, right? Like, you know that I'm not a whale. I don't have that many constellations. Okay, I have C2 Farina, but no weapon. Okay, I saved up a lot for Xilonen, no constellations, right? Like I'm a. Okay, this is not my free to play account, but it's not a whale account. I don't buy Genesis crystals. I just get the Welkin on this account. Right? I don't have right, but Ganyu, different story. Almost Bow I just got from the standard banner. But I saved up a lot for her. I saved up a lot for her. I got her from like all the way to C6 within about. So from release, one rerun and another rerun. And yeah, I'm a Ganyu guy. I like Melt Ganyu, but I also really like Freeze. In fact, I loved Morgana teams. I loved Morgana team like for a very long time until it just didn't, until it just became not viable anymore. In fact, I even pulled Ayaka, right, just so I have a different Freeze team. Ignore Dull Blade. I don't really have a dedicated weapon for Ayaka. It's on Cloren right now. But yeah, like I really like freeze teams, and Shenhe just completes that. I don't have Kokomi, so I don't really have a healer on my freeze teams. No, I guess my only healer right now in freeze teams is Charlotte, which when the day comes that I get Shenhe, I'm certainly replacing Charlotte, which means by then I won't have a healer anymore at all. But it's a freeze team. As long as all enemies are freezable, then I shouldn't be taking any damage, right? Freeze is amazing, and like, man, Morgana's rotation, like way back then, was just so cool. Like it was just nonstop. It was just nonstop. Like it just felt so cool that like you just keep going with your rotations, and then like all enemies are supposed to die, and then like all of a sudden, like after 2 or 3 rotations, like like the chamber just ends. Right, screen just goes black, or it shows you how many stars you got in that floor. It was awesome. I loved it. Still waiting for a Shenhe rerun, but I hope it doesn't come soon. Because I still need my C1 Neuvillette. I still need my Arlecchino and C1 Arlecchino. I still need Mawika. There's so many characters that I want. So I want it. I want a Shenhe, but not anytime soon yet. C1, C2 is my stopping point if I want to get constellations. I'm never going above C1. Yeah, I mean, like, Ganyu was just... Because Ganyu is an older character, her most significant constellation is at the end. It's all the way at the end. And that's how Genshin used to design characters, right? Like, I'm sure you guys have noticed. Like, I forgot what, I don't remember what Zhao C6 does, but I remember it was pretty good. Eula C6 was just, the different, like C5 and C6 was the difference between a whale and a tiny dolphin. Like if you had C5 Eula, you were a dolphin. If you had C6 Eula, you were a whale. And same with Ganyu as well. Ganyu, who else? Klee, I think. Also, a lot of the earlier characters. But if Ganyu were to be released, like if Ganyu wasn't released in 2021 or I don't know whenever she released, if Ganyu wasn't released back then, if she was released in 2024, you bet this constellation would be at C1 or C2. Like this would probably be C1. Like this one, yeah, this would probably be C1, and then this would probably be C2. And then she would have like some kind of broken C6. Zhao C6 is unlimited dash works. Oh, that's why I see Whale Zhao is just non-stop pressing E. Neuvillette only is going to come out on 5.2 second half. Yeah, those are rumors, and that's sort of what I'm waiting on confirmation for. How often do you stream? Sorry, by the way, I'm eating crackers. Often, but not regularly. I sort of stream whenever I have time. And if there's something to do in the game. Speaking of which, actually, there is something I have to be doing right now. I forgot. There's already the Sumeru event. RJ skips me. Like you'll be a banner. You'll be a banner. Zhao C6 just removes skill cooldown for 3 seconds. You hit, I think, 2 or more targets with plunge. Wow, really? That's nuts. Yeah, no wonder why I see like whenever I see a whale Zhao, I just see them non-stop pressing E. Oops. Yeah, I sort of just stream whenever there's something to do in the game. Like if I can like when I and Constellation, yeah, there. Next, okay. Well, while in burst, hitting at least 2 enemies with Zhao plunge, merely grant him 1 charge of lemnistatic wind cycling. Okay, and the next for the next 1 second, he may use wind cycling while ignoring for the next 1 second. Jeez, that is so fast. But because the animation of his skill is so fast, like I think that's like 2 or 3 E's. That's crazy. That's kind of nuts. And you already have 1 extra charge. Oh, dude, that's crazy. That's insane. So okay, sorry. Every time I remember Zhao's skill name, lemnistatic wind cycling, it just always reminds me of that one video that Mogati made, um, where it was another one of those dumb challenge videos, but it was just so hilarious to me because the challenge was every time he used an ability, except the normal attacks, so a skill or a burst, he had to he had to say the full name of that ability. Like in Naruto, like they would say the jutsu name or something. That was the challenge that the self-imposed stupid challenge that he gave himself, and it was just so funny. He was because Zhao's E animation is really fast, right? So and like the skill name is so long. So when he bursted, obviously, at least you burst once every like what is 15 seconds, 18 seconds. So that's fine. Bane of all evil. Okay, fine, sure. But like the skill, really fast animation, really long skill name. Lemnistatic wind cycling. Lemnistatic wind cycling. It was just hilarious. It was like the stupidest thing, but at the same time, it was just hilarious just to watch someone do it. Banyu and Zhao C6 gameplay changes. Never mind, I'm disappointed. I remembered it wrongly. I think what you said was right. Wait, wasn't cooldown for 3 seconds? Remove the skill cooldown for 3 seconds. For 1 second. 2 or more enemies with a plunge. Yeah, you were pretty spot on. Only difference was just 3 or 1 seconds. Yeah, you're pretty spot on, wrong person. You are my #1 YouTuber. I've been watching for 2 years. Yo, really? Oh, dude, you're making me blush. Appreciate it, Wake. Thank you, man. Pull Zhao and triple crown him. Give him 900 to 200, and he's still benched. Well, okay, all right. Maybe the reason why, like when somebody benches Zhao, he just stays benched. He just stays on the bench for forever. Is because maybe he can't get off the bench. Right? Like maybe because he's so short, he can't get off the bench without falling to his doom because, short. Okay. Zhao mains, please don't hate. I'm kidding. Also, I I heard that so many of these characters don't have voice lines in English. I think I remember one of them had voice lines in English, but like every one of these, I don't remember who it was, but there was like one character that had voice lines in English, and like most of the characters here didn't have voice lines in English. Her voice is nice. Oh, thank you, Akuma. Appreciate it, man. You know, I get that a lot. Like, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on my own voice because like it's my voice, so like I hear it all the time. But I get that not a lot, like not every time, but like that's probably like the one of the very few compliments. I hardly get compliments, you know. So one of the very few compliments that I get pretty consistently, and I guess it's nice because not a lot of people, but like it's the most common compliment I get. But like I said, I don't really have an opinion on my voice because it's my own voice and I hear it every day. So, but yeah, thank you. Only Paimon's voice. Oh no, that's terrible. Candace is Dori's worst nightmare. Wait, why? You mean their personalities? Oh yeah, Paimon. Yeah, I remember now. I remember it was, I think it was Kettle Toro's. Yeah, I think it was Kettle Toro's short. Yeah, that I recently saw. I have to go do something. I joined your Discord, so I'll check you out for sure. Oh, hey, appreciate it, Mina. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Take care. I think Wanderer, Sino, and Paimon. Because I remember Kettle Toro. I don't know why. It takes me so. It's so hard for me to remember her name. I really like her shorts, by the way. I don't know why. I like her. I like the way she talks. I don't know why. I guess it sounds cute. Can I just go to where Candace is first? Oh. Okay. So yeah. From what I remember, she said that only Paimon is voiced because Paimon's English VA comes from a different, or I guess what, recording studio or something. So her contract is different, and I guess they're not actively trying to get rid of her by replacing her with the AI So it's, you know, she's okay doing her voice lines. Hey, what's up, Thiago? How you doing, man? Love making people smile. Oh, you definitely are, man. I don't get that many compliments. I like every time I get a compliment that actually, I might not smile like IRL. You know, I'm a very frowny kind of guy, but it definitely warms my heart. Has been in customer service. No, yeah, I have worked in customer service, and that's actually one of the places where I got a few compliments on my voice too. My very first supervisor complimented me on it. I guess our assistant supervisor also complimented me on it. You know, I don't think Candace's Japanese voice suits her very much. Her Japanese voice suits... like as because like I see Candace as like this strong, like independent like warrior who can protect people and stuff. But her voice sounds so like gentle, and it's almost like Ganyu's. And like Ganyu's strong, right? She's like 3,000 plus years old in lore. But like she's generally very gentle. Her combat Japanese voice fits her. Normal speaking doesn't seem like her. Oh, she has a different voice for combat. Oh, kind of like Raiden Shogun, I guess. Watch Candace haggle prices with Dori, and I was laughing so hard. Wait, really? Wait, when does that happen? I remember seeing, like, I was skipping the dialogue mostly. I've already done this quest twice. Yeah, my friend's account and my Asia account. And I remember seeing Traveler or Paimon think like, whoa, like she's like the haggle Archon or something like that. It was something crazy. Like they were really impressed by how much she haggled the prices. But I don't remember seeing her haggle Dori. Haggle the prices with Dori. Your voice is so yummy. I still remember someone said that too. Yeah, that was our that was that was who I was talking about. Our supervisor assistant. Well, I think she was just mainly saying that because it was a dry night. You know how most of my customer service work was during the night. It was night shifts most of the time, and so I think she was just trying to. She just said those words specifically. Because I don't know if it was true, really. I really don't know. I just don't have an opinion of my own voice because I hear it all day, every day since since I can remember anything. But it was a dry evening. It was like a really slow night, like not very many phone calls that night. And everyone was just like super sleepy. So your voice is good for making Genshin guides? Well, what kind of guides? I mean, I'll make a guide, but I'd guide Candace anywhere. Man, Candace and Dia, man. I'm kind of excited that at least I'm like when I finally get Arlecchino, I'll have plenty of time to use Candace. I still don't have any reason to use Dia very much, but I'm still hoping, that I'll get a reason for that someday. You know, Doro44 in his vids show picture of Candace feet to keep him calm. What? I mean, he's a guy, he's a straight dude, so I can't blame him for having his thing. RJ dude, what? What is the JOI? Okay. Dori. What instructions? What?
女のガーディアン。さてご用件は何でしょう。私砂漠では怪しい取引。いえ、誤解なさらないでください。あら、情報を求めて。ああ、なんなりとお聞きくださいまし。私、情報の取引が一番好きですの。実は今朝変わった宝石を購入しまして、ちなみにその方の名前はメモしてあります。ああ、人探しですわね。もちろん万能と名高いドリーさんが直接石の由来を調べてくださっても構いません。相応の報酬は利益は少ないですが、人探しは大した手間じゃありませんわ。宝石を加工しているそんなこと言われても、この類の情報は企業秘密ですから。
Who is the Great Lord Sanjmabe? What? Who the heck is that? I like Dori's eyes. You know, I've never noticed Dori's eyes like that before. I actually, well, okay. I guess you can't blame me because like Dori's just not a very good character. So I hardly even look at her. Consider this your for the day. Candace the Haggle Archon. Scary to deal with things about prices if you're the businessman. And like with that sweet voice too, like. Okay, I'm kind of excited to see this now. She just panics.
どうしましたか？砂漠での相場を言っただけですが。無理ですわ。こんな商売を。そうですか。仕方がありませんね。
What the heck?
そちらのキャラバンが R 村を訪れた際の安全を保証し、一部税金も免除します。いかがでしょう？
Oh, jeez.
最近の R 村にはビジネスチャンスがゴロゴロ。キャンディスさん、ひょっとして R 村のために攻撃を行おうと。
She is panicking.
本当ですか？さすがスメール切手の大商人。その器量と見識はもちろんですと。それでしたら
Jeez. Oh, jeez.
宝石職人へのおもてなしは情報を集める時間が必要ですので。本当にありがとうございます、ドリーさん。旅人さん、せっかくスメールに来たのですから、オルモス港を。そうか？おいらたちと。そんなことはありません。私の方こそ付き合わせてしまって申し訳ありませんでした。相変わらず気さくなドリーさんも全てが順調。はあ。
Man, I think Dori might have to change her underwear after that, man. that was kind of harrowing. RJ reading dialogue, the world has ended. Well, it was interesting. I mean, Hoyo has done so much better recently with their writing, like their dialogue writing, and they've even actually put in some effort to actually animate characters, like when doing dialogue. So when doing dialogue recently, Like, for example, I don't know if you guys even pay it, like, most people wouldn't even pay attention to this, but like, so remember when Hoyo was like excited, right? That like, oh, cool customers, whatever, like dealing information. Like Dori was like going like from here to here to here. Hoyo did not used to do that. Like they've only been doing that since Fontaine. And remember, 1.0, Mondstadt and Liyue, 2.0, Inazuma, 3.0, Sumeru. And so it took them until 4.0 to start doing stuff like that. Like for a very long time, they used to just like slap dialogue on the screen and like point the camera at the character who's talking, and that's it. That was all they did for a very long time. And they've only been actually gotten better. They've only gotten better at like storytelling and dialogue writing, and even like putting the some at least some effort into animating the characters while doing dialogue. Only very recently. So it's not it's okay. It's decent nowadays. Are they talking about soiled lolly underpants? Oh my god. Must you have to point out the awkward details, man? Look for Dori and talk to her. Wait, where's... Really? Dori's here? Where? Where? When Farina panics in front of Neuvillette. Yeah, right. Like that was, I think that was the first time I ever noticed it. And there was also that one time when it was Farina, Neuvillette, and us talking in Neuvillette's office. Like at first, I thought it was a glitch. At first, I thought it was a glitch because like I think it was Farina just suddenly like dashed onto the screen, like not running, but just like just zipped onto the screen. And for a long time, I thought it was a glitch. I thought like my PC was lagging. I thought my internet wasn't good at the time. And then I did the Archon quest again because I have 3 accounts, and I do my friend's account and I do my Asia account as well. Well, I didn't do the anything Fontaine on my Asia account really, but yeah, 3 accounts, my friend's account. So I did like all the Fontaine stuff 4 times, and I noticed that on my second go of the Archon quest, and then I was like, wait, is that a glitch? So I paid attention to it on my 3rd run and my 4th run, and it was the exact same thing. And for a very long time, I just thought it was a glitch. I just thought like maybe they made a mistake or something. And then like a couple of patches later, I saw another similar thing happen. I forgot where. And then I realized, oh, that wasn't a glitch. That was on purpose. It wasn't very well done, but it was on purpose. It was purposeful. He's gone already? I got a chance to talk to her after the quest. Oh, maybe because it's nighttime already? Yeah, maybe because it's nighttime already. Okay, I'll try going to the next day, but after 10. So in that way, I don't trigger the quest yet. You should see ZZZ interactions. Their facial expressions and body language are absolutely incredible. Well, I guess like with ZZZ and Star Rail, because it's not open world, like there's a little bit less stuff for them to work on. So, right? Like with Genshin, like they have to work on like the story stuff, the writing stuff, like all of that. Maybe she's upstairs. Right? And at the same time, they also have to work on the open world stuff. So maybe that's why like all those other little details are better in HSR and Star Rail. Or what? I just mentioned the same game twice. HSR and ZZZ. Because they don't have the open world to worry about. Dori's not here? Where is she? I think she went home to change her underpants. After what Candace did to her. Yeah. She probably did that. Use the teleporter, so she disappeared. Oh, I see. Okay, well, I guess I'm not gonna get that chance then. I'll probably just look it up online. Just to see that dialogue. Rena's a slay queen. Rena be like, with Neuvillette, buy me a Prada. Oh, buy me a... Okay. Let's her go to the Bahamas, why not? Well, Farina is kind of like a daughter to Neuvillette, right? He kind of looks out for her. And isn't Neuvillette sort of like looking out for her now? That's sort of what I remember.
ドリーさんならたった今ここをお離れになりました。今朝早くからこの辺りで取引をされていたようです。私も早く到着したので、例の話はもう済ませてあります。ドリーさんは R 村の通行証と減税証明書を受け取るとすぐに出発されました。あいつ、1秒も無駄にそれで。ええ。
2020 game makes sense. And little by little, I can see Genshin implement facial expressions in Natlan. Like Sitlali. Oh yeah, Man. That's actually, yeah. Sitlali was awesome, man. I love Sitlali. She was so funny. I heard some people say that her English voice was clipping the mic. I didn't notice that. I didn't really notice that, probably because I was skipping the dialogue the whole time. But if it's true, then I could probably blame that on like Sitlali just screaming. She was screaming so much. Well, she was angry, so like it's, you know, the voice acting was fine, was good. But because like her voice acting was screaming, her character was screaming. So that was probably why, like, if it actually was clipping the mic, then maybe. That was probably because she was screaming. They seem to be experimenting with Sitlali to go player feedback, together player feedback. Genshin rapper Xilonen, SSR rapper Rappa, and ZZZ rapper Bernice. Oh, don't forget Hutao, man. You already go away. Let me see. Okay, there. Yikes. That is that is certainly something to look at. It's a sight to behold. All the fire background when she was angry and punching and shouting. Oh yeah. You know, where did I see that? There was a... Oh, okay. So I think it's in the later part of this quest. I think it was with Kaveh and Farazan. There was a scene where I noticed that it could have been better if they added a little bit of like anime flair into it. But they didn't. But I think they might do stuff like that in the future. Because right now, yeah, like you're right. I think right now they're just like experimenting with like what they could do with like little animations and stuff, little additions into like during dialogue. And I can certainly see that they need they don't have as much experience at like doing stuff like this as like traditional like Japanese anime animators have. But I can see that they're trying, which is, you know, that's all you need really. Give Rappa a demo and watch. Sure, but yeah, probably not during the stream. I'll probably watch it after the stream. It's pretty late, and I don't know if I can. I have to do this one more time on my third account, but I don't know if I could do it now. It's getting pretty late. My favorite of all time. It's so incredibly addicting. What is? Are you talking about the Rappa? Sorry, was that a trailer? Demo. Are you talking about the demo that you mentioned? Is there always going to be red straight through? Wait. I didn't think Hutao's rap was horrible. I think I mean, I don't think it was awful. Yeah, I think it certainly wasn't good, but I don't think it was as bad as people make it out to be. I think what happened was people just were just caught off guard. Because like, whoa, Hutao rapping, and they were expecting most of it to rhyme, and then it started to not rhyme, and I think that's what got, you know, I think that's what caught people off guard. It just wasn't rhyming when people were expecting it to rhyme. I'm gonna crash. Hope all depressions can be lost to good night's sleep. Have a great stream, man. Thanks for the day. Alright, hey, thanks for hanging out with us, wrong person. Yeah, good night, man. Take care. No dazzle, no break. Got it. Thanks, man. Maybe because of translations, that's why it doesn't rhyme compared to the original language. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the translations too, right? And what's more so with translations is translating a piece of text isn't as straightforward as just translating each word. Because there are things in different languages, like not even grammar and words that are different, but even logic that's different. Like, for example, okay, I'm gonna use Chinese as an example for this because it's the one that I'm most familiar with. Asking a yes or no question in Chinese, you basically just say the sentence and then you add ma at the end, which signifies that it's a yes or no question. I'm waiting for you to tell me yes or no. So it's like, so if I say, are you happy? Right, so in English, you just change "you are happy," which is a, you know, it's a declarative sentence. You just swap "are you" R and U, and then it becomes R. It becomes you swap U and R, and it becomes RU, and then now we know that it's a question. It's a yes or no question. You're asking me, but in Chinese, you are happy is 你是快乐, right? 你是快乐, right? Which is you are happy. But you change that into a question. You don't say 是你快乐. You say 你是快乐吗? So you add ma, right? Which is a logic that doesn't exist in English. And obviously, Genshin, a Chinese made by a Chinese company, is gonna, like they're gonna develop the game and they're gonna adapt the mouth movements to the Chinese audio. And as part of an English VA's or like some other language VA's job is to, it's not just their job completely to translate it, but it is their job to take the translation and come up with something better to match the characters, their characterization, their personality, the scene, what else, the emotions, the emotions for that scene, take into account what kind of personality they have, and trying to match the lip movement that isn't in their language. So it's pretty hard to do that. I love Hutao's rap. I'll send to what? I'll send to for an I listened to it for an hour when I was doing my English homework. Hey, Emma Bounce. Oh, alright. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us, Mr. J. Take care, man. Translation and the way the word is used differently. Yeah, exactly. We were acting as if it was the worst rap in the world, but it wasn't that bad, but certainly wasn't that good. Well, you know how the Genshin community is. You know how the Genshin community is. I think this might be the first time that I've heard Alhaitham's speaking Japanese voice.
その能力をもとにまだ見ぬ現実に仮説を立てたが結果が違っていたというわけか。おそらく問題は結果にあるとは限らない。
It's pretty. I guess it matches him. Yeah. I guess it matches how cool his character is. But aesthetically, I feel like it doesn't match his character design. But it does match his character personality, I think. Hi, what's up, Maria? Genshin community is like Twitter too. Oh, yeah. Why I barely interact with the Genshin community? Yeah, I wouldn't touch the Genshin community with a 10-foot pole. No. It's... But I think Kave's Japanese voice suits him perfectly. It suits his character perfectly, his personality. And it's just because his personality matches his character design so well too. So I think his Japanese voice is just awesome. It's perfect for his character. Voicing hot men in anime. Oh, really? Alhaitham Japanese VA is well-known VA too. Okay. So, I guess that means Hoyo's intentions. Well, it's pretty clear what Hoyo's intentions were for Alhaitham then. If the guy who voices him in Japanese is known for voicing hot men in anime, then we could sort of, we can certainly see what Hoyo's intentions with Alhaitham are. I love Kave. He's adorable. He's like an adorable, like, gullible dork is how I picture out his character in lore.
あ、もう来てたんだね。あ、みんな浮かない顔してどうしたの？
ちょっとした謎々さ。ああ、もう集合の時間か。歩きながら話そう。
Avi's Japanese voice sounds like a main character of an anime.
そっか。じゃあまたな。
うん？
Have you watched Black Clover? It's a good anime. I love it. No, but I hear that I've heard for a very long time now that it's a good anime. In fact, my brother watched it and recommended it to me quite a long time ago. But no, I haven't been able to sit down and watch it.
元気。
ファルザン先輩、実は
キャンディータワーを作ることして解決策はあったのか？
ええ、バッチリです。数十本の論文を読破した甲斐がありました。
Yeah, Kave's voice sounds like your typical like shonen main character in an anime.
わかったならそうじゃカーベ。
こんなに早く。
これ持っていけ。
はい、ありがとう。すまない。旅人、君が試してみてくれないか
The moment I heard Alhaitham's Japanese voice, I was like, oh, I know this guy. Oh, hey, really? Okay. I should really look up who voices Alhaitham then. I mean, I guess I don't think I would know any characters that he's voiced. Because, like, if he's famous for voicing hot men, I don't... I'm a straight dude, so I don't really see myself looking out for anime with hot men in it. But hey, maybe. Alright, we'll see. Voices Goblin Slayer. What? Well, maybe that's why I don't know him, because I didn't watch Goblin Slayer in Japanese. I watched it in English. But I do have to say, Goblin Slayer, when he took off his helmet, he was a pretty attractive dude, yeah.
Oh,
旅人とファ
次はイヨイコレイとオディシオ。二人はどにゃいっそのこと。
シティ内だと暗草なりデビ様の住居に近いから散歩の途中でばったり会うかもしれないだろ。その点ここならそこそこ離れているし。
Hi, what's up, Cloudy?
バレる可能性
How you doing, man?
サプライズをよ。
あら、ここで何をしているの？私の名前が聞こえた気がしたけど。
Okay, here's another example. Yeah, look at this. They were trying to make this comical, and they never used to do stuff like that. They never used to do stuff like that. Like the fact that they were like they were slowly turning their heads. That takes extra time to animate something like that, right? Like it wasn't very good animation, but it was some animation. Right, and they never used to do something like that before. Adorable radish. Radish. Every time I hear characters in Hoyoverse games in Japanese, I can quite recognize some voices because I watch anime. Well, I guess the thing, they do use a lot of they do take a lot of famous Japanese VAs, and because Japanese anime is so prominent, it's so just widespread, it's kind of hard not to hear some familiar voices. In fact, I never realized this before. So one of my favorite anime characters is Ryu Lion from Danmachi. Especially after season 4, man. Like after season 4, uh, I watched it originally in English, and I watched it in Japanese, and I was like, whoa. Why does this scene hit so much different? Like so much, it hits so much harder. Like some scenes hit so much harder when I listened to them in Japanese, and I paid attention to like why. And it was the voice acting. The voice acting was just it was so good. And ever since then, I've found a very different appreciation for Japanese voice acting. I used to watch like all anime that had English dubs. I would always watch it in an English dub, just so just so I could just look at the anime and just I can just listen to their voices and I can appreciate the visuals more. And I can also just play a game while just having the anime play in the background, because I at least like have part of my attention paying attention to the dialogue, and I can still sort of follow the story. But if I know I'm watching an anime that I really like, then I'll watch, like ever since then I'll watch it in Japanese dub. And then ever since then, I've just noticed like, wow, Japanese dubs, not all the time, but most of the time, are just superior. Have you watched Demon Slayer? Because the movie is coming out in 2025. Yeah, of course. Who hasn't seen Demon Slayer, man? Tainari's expression. Facial animation in Genshin is stiff, which is pretty acceptable because it's a 4-year-old game. I mean, the age... Well, okay, I just thought about it. I was like, I don't think a game's age could hold back facial animation. And then I sort of thought about it, and then maybe. Because, like, it's possible that because it's an older game compared to a lot of other games nowadays, maybe the way when they modeled the 3D models of the characters, obviously that's when you put in the rigging, right? And maybe it's possible that because it's an older game and at the time they weren't focused on facial expressions and having like a wide range of facial expressions on their different characters, maybe they didn't add too many rigging points on the faces, and maybe that's why facial animations are a bit stiff in Genshin. So I could certainly see why facial expressions are a bit stiff in Genshin. It's possible that could be a reason. What's holding them back from just giving us better facial expressions in Genshin. But it's also highly possible that maybe the team that works on like stuff like this on Genshin is like they're slightly less experienced developers, and just getting pointers from their more experienced developers. So it's possible that they're also doing that. And already looks like he's faking to be shocked. yeah, just like Chokoshu said, like facial animation is a bit stiff, yeah. Fei Xiao and Mawika JPPAs are the same. Fei Xiao, oh my god. Now you have more reasons to pull Mawika, dude. Yes, please. Yes. Yes. Yes, please. Okay, like so earlier I was mentioning that there was a scene with Faruzan and what's his name? Have.
はい。
このデザインはなんじゃ、屋根にこんな
where they were really surprised by the Nahida being there. I don't think this was it, but like there was earlier, I think a little bit later when she goes away and comes back. There was a scene that could have been improved if they added in like a little anime flair, but they didn't, and I think they might do something like that in the future. So we'll just skip to Nahida going.
あなたももしよかったら
then coming back.
何か都合でも悪いの？みんなの顔がこわばっている。デザインを見られるのが恥ず
Yeah,
かしい。
they never used to do stuff like that. Like, I don't know if you noticed that, like, really quick thing. They put the camera for a very short moment from, like, down towards Nahida's perspective, and they never used to do that.
いや
Mavika is the Fei Zhao in Genshin as well. They're the same who likes fighting and use their fists in the fight. Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know about that. Well, I sort of knew about that about Fei Zhao, because I've seen quite a few of her footage. Quite a bit of her footage, even though I don't play ZZ. As ZZZ. I just really like Fei Zhao's thing. I like characters like that, and I especially like her character design as well.
ならすぐに向かうわ。わざわざ探し
What's
に
this 2D cartoon game name? Cartoon game name.
私は
Or 2D? Are you talking about, wait, this? Genshin? Or are you talking about like the, like, oh, here it is. Sorry, hang on.
危なかったぜ。すまぬカーベ。さっきはつい変なことわしは言うし。
ええ、もちろん。
そうそう、カーベ。もうこんな時間じゃ。はよデザインを取りに行って。いつまで手をやめ
No. Okay. So I think I missed it. But there was a scene in there where if they added in like your typical like anime. So in most anime, like when anime characters get shocked, right? Especially if they're the type of characters that have like some comedic, they're a bit of a comedian and they're shocked or they're suddenly angry or something. Usually in anime they add in like a different background to them, right? Like a really like highly colorful background that matches their current emotion. And if Hoyo starts doing that, I think that'll be the day that like when we can really start to appreciate better storytelling from Genshin. Are you talking about the minigame, Peter? The minigame that I played earlier while doing dialogue? I guess we were talking about this. Yeah, the Xilonen talks about Chasca's kid in one of her voice lines. Yeah, actually, I recently saw someone's, I forgot whose, but someone's short on it on YouTube. They said that one of Xilonen's voice lines actually talks about Chasca's kit. I can even see some fan art shipping Capitana and Mawika or Zhongli and Maui. What? JPVA are real life husband and wife. Oh, really? Wait, I thought it was the English VAs. I thought it was Mawika's and Zhongli's English VAs being real life husband and wife. Who's everyone going for? I'm not going for Hutao and Nahida. I wish I could go and get Nahida C2 now, but I don't have the Primogems yet, and I have to save. I ran out of Primogems trying to go for C2 Xilonen. Anyway, Peter, was this the thing you were talking about? Japanese VA. Oh, okay. I mean, like from the Archon quest, there are short scenes where like Mawika and Capitano show mad respect for each other. So it's like I could see how some people, I can see why some people are shipping Mawika with Capitano. By the way, I also heard some rumors recently that Capitano and that there are not gonna be any playable harbingers during the whole Natlan arc. I don't know if it's gonna be true. I've only heard one person talk about it, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm not happy about it, but I'm also not super disappointed about it. But man, like Capitano is still really cool, and I wouldn't mind having him as a playable character. Anyway, I guess to answer your question to a certain degree, O9 RJ, O9 RJ, cool. Yeah, cool name. I'm waiting for an Arlecchino and a Neuvillette rerun, and I'm also waiting for Mawika to be released. Oops, went a little too early. I'm not sure if this mini game is supposed to match the music. And if it is, I don't know if it matches the music. Because it really doesn't sound like it. I don't know if the music is supposed to be just there. I'm taking my chance for C1 Neuvillette because I'm at 70 pity, and I think 5.2 and 5.3 first half will be enough time for me to save for Mawika. Oh yeah. If it turns out to be true that Neuvillette does rerun in 5.2, I'm definitely going for Neuvillette C1. Even if I don't have that many Primogems, I don't know whether or not it's gonna be enough time for me to save up from enough Primogems to go for Mawika, but I'll just have to hope, because I don't want to go for too much longer without a Neuvillette C1. It's just so annoying. Just while you're starting to you're done with your rotation, you're ready to start power washing with Neuvillette. Oops. You're ready to start power washing enemies with Neuvillette, and all of a sudden you get hit by an attack, and then you get interrupted, and you just lose so much DPS, and it's just so unsatisfying that after that whole setup you lost DPS just because you didn't have resistance to interruption. It sounds like it matches the music, but I don't. It doesn't perfectly match the music, which makes, I don't know. It feels weird. Because like I don't know if I'm supposed to be paying attention to the music or not. This community ships anyone who stands near each other. Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh man. Again, going back to the kind of people the Genshin community is mostly comprised of. Yeah. I also really like pairing him for Frina too. Yeah, me too. Me too. Ever since I started using this Farina Neuvillette Kazuha team, um, I just haven't been interested in trying out any other Neuvillette team. In fact, the very first Neuvillette team I used was the Rainbow Neuvillette team, but I don't know, like it was okay, but when I started using this team, it just felt way more satisfying. My phone keeps dropping on my face. See ya, guys. I know why that. I certainly know what that feeling's like, man. Yeah, yeah. That happens to me quite a bit when I'm sleepy. All right. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us, Jokashu. Take care, man. And I'm surprised, like, how many different mini games these people could come up with. Because, like, if I if Hoyo ever asks me for like minigame ideas, I don't know if I would even be able to come up with any. Even if they paid me for it. I don't know if I would actually be able to come up with anything good. I keep forgetting where this one is. I've done... oh, there it is. Okay. Damn, I'm so uncreative. Uncreative, yeah. I don't know if that's a word, but I would say that's a pretty appropriate word to describe me as. Very uncreative. I'm usually the guy, like in middle school and in high school, whenever we had like group activities and we had to come up with ideas, I was usually the guy who would hear someone else come up with a great idea and think, "Oh man, that's a great idea. I wish I had come up with that. It was so simple too." And like, why didn't I come up with that idea? Or like, um, yeah, like, and it generally would be someone like if somebody asked me like, "Hey, what do you think we should do?" I'd be like, "I don't know." And even if I did try and actually think about it, I just wouldn't be able to come up with any idea, even if it was like worth half my grade for the whole semester. And if you'll notice, I haven't really uploaded any YouTube videos, any actual like normal videos. Like I've been only streaming for like how many years now, and haven't uploaded like a proper YouTube video in a long time, because I don't know. I don't want to upload just a video, just for uploading a video's sake. When I upload a video, I want it to be actually useful. I'm not creative, so I can't really like come up with something creative, and I don't know. I don't really think I'm funny, so, and I can't really, yeah, I can't really come up with anything funny. So like entertaining video is out of the question. So I'd have to come up with something informational. And if it's going to be informational, I would prefer for it to be relevant forever, or at least a long time. And every time I start thinking about, okay, how about this information? And then I start thinking about, okay, how am I going to deliver this information? I come up with an idea, and then like I start thinking about, okay, how do I start to explain this? And I just don't I can't think of like a creative, like a creative, I can't think of I guess of a fluent way to explain my idea, because like my ideas are so like chaotic in my head. Very, very chill and fun. Yeah, that's sort of all I got going for me. Which I know that it has its place on YouTube as well. Another reason too is I'm just lazy. Just too lazy to come up with a video. Oh no, he hit me. I got cryo on me now, and I'm slow. I don't have orbs anymore. That's the kind of YouTuber I like. You might enjoy somebody like Mogati then. Mogati's pretty chill. I don't watch all of his videos though, because like a lot of his videos are just dumb challenges, and like I don't know why. I just haven't been very interested in like stupid challenge Genshin videos, because I don't know why. I just don't like watching it, because like maybe because when I see it, I just see some what I see is a YouTuber really reaching for the bottom of the barrel to have something to make a video of, because there's just not that much content in Genshin. Like, there is content in Genshin, but it's just not that much to make a video out of. Ow. Are you gonna play as your familia? No, probably not. I'm a gamer, but like, I'm generally like the one game at a time kind of guy. And I don't really play, I don't really stream. Like, this is not how I make money. Like, streaming is not how I make money. Streaming is more of an expense for me. Because streaming means I'm using a computer. You know, and my computer's actually doing some pretty heavy lifting by playing the game and streaming at the same time, which means it's consuming more power. Right? Which means more electricity. Higher electricity bill. And so, you know, my channel is monetized. But, oh my god, I just missed. I don't have Xilonen's thing now. Okay, there. Alright, Hydro. Put some Hydro on these guys. Nope. Farina's summons aren't out anymore. But anyway, yeah, so my challenge is monetized, but, you know, you can clearly see I'm not a big, I'm not a big guy on YouTube, so the views I'm getting and views I'm getting just isn't enough to make streaming worth it for me. I just stream mostly because, you know, I get to hang out with cool people like you guys. I get to hang out with people who play and are interested in the same game as I am. But yeah, maybe if I was like a full-time streamer, like if streaming actually made sense to me, like if it actually made me money, and like it was actually my job, then I might actually go out and play like all the different games. But as I am now, no. Oh, come on. we're done. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do this during this stream. It's getting pretty late over here. I'll probably just do this later. Well, tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. More later. Because it's Saturday where I am, but it's like it's 3 in the morning, so... that's all I got in me for today. Anyway, so for any of you guys in chat who need help building your characters' accounts, making decision which banners to pull for, feel free to join our Discord server. Links are in the description of all my videos, VODs, and streams, and in the pinned message in YouTube chat. If you want my personal opinion, of course, you can ping me over there. My name is Elvis Einstein, and you can ask for other people's opinions too. Thank you guys so much for coming by, hanging out, and being awesome people. Have a good day, good afternoon, good evening, and take care, everybody. Bye, guys. Thanks for hanging out throughout the whole stream. Yeah, go touch grass now. Alright, bye everyone.